All right, this is 1-1, functions in continuity. Our essential question is, how can I describe the key features of a function? Let's get started. A relation describes. That could be a problem. There. A relation describes a relationship, and I'll slow down. I know that you couldn't see it. Between two values. Does it matter if I write out the letter 2 or 2 TWO or use a symbol? Doesn't matter. Whatever. It's your notes. Just write them, please, because remember, notes are 10% of your grade. You get 10% of your grade just for writing it down. All right. A relation describes a relationship between two values. And what should you do if I start going too quickly? I'm fine with that. The relation is a function if there is only one input. Do you know what symbol we use for input? Do any of you watch Family Feud? What happens if you get a question wrong? You get a big X. Not O, X. I was kidding. I knew what you were saying. All right, there is only one input value for each output. What symbol do we use for output if we use X? Good job. Good, because I didn't have anything for Y. So, output value. Abby, what's your favorite thing to drink? To drink, yes. Water. All right, you go to the vending machine and you want a nice cold bottle of Aquafina because it's 98 degrees out plus humidity. So the feel like is like 130. That might be a little bit exaggerated, but this isn't science class, so that's fine. All right, so you want water. You put your dollar in the machine, you push the button, water comes out, you're happy, correct? What happens if you put your dollar in and you get out vinegar? Are you going to be real happy with that? No. So a vending machine where you push water and only water comes out is a function. If you push water and you get another foreign substance coming out, that is not a function. That's honestly the way I remember it, a 1-to-1 ratio, because you want one input to one output. You want water coming out when you push water. All right, you don't want pineapple juice or prune juice or some other kind of nasty stuff. All right, if each output value is paired with exactly one input, comma, space, then the function is a 1-to-1 function. And I'll describe that in a little bit, exactly what a 1-to-1 function is. We're going to do an example later on in class, and it'll clear it up pretty good. All right, so let's give some examples of what is a function. All right, let's say we have a function table. And my input values are -1, 2, 5, and 7. My output values are -7, -5, 0, and 2. All right, so let's see. A function if there is only one input value for every output value. Does -1 repeat it? Nope, 2's not, 5's not, 7's not. So that is a function. All right, so what would not a function look like? Let's take a peek. -3, -1, 2, 2. And my outputs are 8, 5, 1, 0. All right, this time Abby pushes water and gets water. This time Abby pushes water and gets canola oil. So is this a function? No, that's not a function. So you can tell from a function table whether it is a function or not. How about from a graph? Can you tell based on a graph? Yes. Elise, am I going too fast? All right. Just let me know if I am, please. The nice thing is around 9 o'clock I start waking up mentally, so I go a little faster when I wake up. All right, these are called coordinate planes, Cartesian planes. I'll move it up in a second. Thank you for telling me that. All right, this is called a parabola. And that is a function. And we'll explain why it's a function in just a minute. This is called an inverse because all I'm doing is swapping my x's and my y's. So if I swap my x and my y's, that is not a function. Hopefully 2 years ago you heard of a thing called the vertical line test. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. So if you take a vertical line, this one touches here and here. So it crosses twice. So that means it's not a function. Because this time here you're getting water, this time you are getting Alfredo sauce. Which I love me some Alfredo sauce, but not when I'm outside done exercising. That's funny, me outside exercising. That doesn't happen until October. All right, we have 2 more pages of notes. I know it's a lot. I apologize, but there's nothing I can do. Like I said, the more we get done today, the more time in class you get to do your homework. So that's why I'm trying to go kind of quickly through this. And I don't think anything I've gone over too far is too difficult. All right, so I'm going to turn the page. All right, is it a function? Two ways I can tell it a function. My x values can't repeat. My x values can't repeat. That's what we use if it is a function table. If it's a graph, we can use the vertical line test, which we're going to go more in depth in just a minute. Vertical line test. All right, next, how to determine is it one-to-one? Is it a one-to-one function? So in order for it to be a one-to-one function, Y values can't repeat. And Elise, I'm just going to call on you because you're one of the few people's names that I actually know in here. That's not a soccer player. Instead of using the vertical line test, we're going to use the what line test? Good job. See, and you're smart. Horizontal. And I'm going to give you examples of that in a little bit. All right, so let's figure out what a vertical line test is. If a vertical line passes through only one point on a graph. All right, so vertical line test. If a vertical line passes through only one point on a graph, comma, it is a function. All right, Jonna. Question. What's the most important word in that sentence right there, would you say? It is or is not a function. So if I was a good Avid student, even if I wasn't a good Avid student, I would personally underline or highlight is, because that's important. It is a function. Also, sometimes Gabby gets confused on what's vertical and what's horizontal. That may or may not be true. I'm just working on names. So vertical line, is that up and down or left to right? So I'm just for my own little reference so I don't get confused, I'm going to draw a vertical line there. All right, so that's a vertical line test. Let's figure out what the horizontal line test is. Horizontal line test. If a horizontal line passes through only one point on a graph, comma, it is a 1-to-1 function. So once again, just so I don't get confused, I'm going to write a horizontal line like horizon. The horizon goes east and west or left to right. I misspoke, it's left to right. It is a 1-to-1 function. And we're about 2 minutes away from taking a little break. So bear with me. It's for your own good. Annalise, do you know what domain is?
I remember the word.
What is that? On a graph, what? Yep, going which way? Yes, there you go. So domain is set of x values. So if domain is your x values, what's range? Set of y values. And there's actually a little trick that I personally use and Valentina used to know that D comes before R in the alphabet, right? X comes before Y in the alphabet. So your domain is your X, your range is your Y. Does that make sense? Honestly, that's the way I remember it. Allison, that look is not exuding confidence that you understood what I was saying. Okay, I'm glad you get it now. I was going to try and clarify it for you. All right, just making sure. All right, so this is my range. My range, another way someone told me is on my smartboard, Y touches the sky. So Y goes up and down, touches the sky, goes up. If you need that, that's fine. All right, example 1. All right, I'm going to draw a little graph here. This is called a parabola. And it's opening down. So what the book is going to want you to do and what I'm going to want you to do on the quiz, does anyone have any earthly idea when your first quiz is? August 25th. There's a sign in front and it's already on focus. Thank you. You were exactly correct. So domain is left to right. Does this parabola ever stop going left to right? No, it doesn't. It goes left to right forever. It just opens very slowly, but it'll open forever. So my domain is all real numbers. Hold on. Hold that thought. I'm going to answer that in 2 seconds. JoJo says that's too much work. She doesn't like to write that much. So she wants to use the symbol. Is that okay if JoJo uses a symbol? Yes. What it is draw a capital R, please. And now all we do is take a line and go inside it. Is that the symbol you were going to use? All right. That means all real numbers. All right, the range. The range is up and down. What is the highest part on this graph where it touches the x-axis? Where is that? 0. So this is going to be y is less than or equal to, because it's actually touching, 0. I'm sorry, are we good? Is there an issue? Okay. All right, the function, is this a function? If I take a vertical line, vertical line is up and down, and draw it across, it's only hitting one point on my parabola at a time. So therefore, this is a function. A non-function, just for demonstration purposes only, you don't need to write this. If I took my parabola and turned it sideways, it would be hitting there and there. That would not be a function. But this is a function. All right, I know you've all been working hard for 20 minutes now. Yes? No. Because it fails the horizontal line test. But you're like an example or two ahead of us. We'll get to that, though. Because if I did my horizontal line, see how it's hitting twice? It's hitting there and there, so it would not be a one-to-one. But that's an excellent question. All right, so a check, what that means is you are going to solve this on your own. And remember, you're the smartest person at your table, correct? Yeah. All right, so you're going to make sure that the other people have the correct answer. And if they don't have the correct answer, you're going to explain to them nicely why they are wrong. All right, so here's our graph. This looks like an M. I get that. That's fine. That's allowed. It goes up to 3. It curves back down to 2, curves back up to 3, and then goes down. You are going to tell me the domain, the range, and the function. Is it a function, yes or no? So I'll give you a couple minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes. Oops, what just happened there? To try and figure this out and compare and check with your neighbor. Once you have done that, if you want to take just a few seconds to look at your phone, if it must, I don't want you to start convulsing in your seat, having withdrawal symptoms. That would be bad for everyone. What time do we get out of here? 9:04. We're actually doing better than first period did. When it what? No, it's just usually first period is a timing thing. I figure out how fast I need to go. And last year, anyways, first period took longer to make it through stuff than every other period. Last year, I taught this 4 periods of Algebra 2 honors. So I would handwrite notes 4 times a day. So, what's that? But see, then I can't get pacing and stuff like that. And my other thought process is hopefully if kids think it's important enough for me to write down, they'll write down. So, I mean, this is all on PowerPoint. I could show you slides, but to me, that's not good teaching. All right, 50 more seconds, please. And then I'm going to not so randomly call on someone to answer this for us. Someone that I haven't called on before. And most lessons are not this long. It's the first chapter, so it's kind of a lot of vocabulary and stuff. Yeah. That hump right there is on the 3rd line. So the 3 is the highest point, yes. You are correct. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your phones away. Let's get back after this. Liam, what's my domain?
All of them.
Can I use the symbol?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Xavier, what's my range? Now, is it going up or is it going down? Is my graph, is the purple line going up or going down? It's going down, so it's going to be less than or equal to. And what's the highest point on my graph? It's right there. And where does it go through the x-axis or the y-axis at? Thank you. You are exactly correct. Jackson, please put your phone away. And is this a function? Yes, it is. Thank you. All right, turn your paper over, please. Well, you'll actually have time at the end of the class to go on your phone. All right, this is example 2. All right, x values -1, 2, 5, and 7. Y values are -7, -5, 0, and 2. So it wants to know the domain, God bless you, the range, and just because Jonah asked so nicely, is it a 1, 2, 1 function? Oh, I don't remember how to figure out if it's 1 to 1. I wish we would have wrote that down somewhere. Oh, wait, we did. So, first of all, my domain. This is a discrete graph, which means it has stops. It only has points right there. They're not connected. It's not continuous, which we'll get into later on into this course. All right, so my domain, where does my domain occur at? -1, 2, 5, and 7. My range is my y values, -7, -5, 0, and 2. Now, how do I determine if it is a 1 to 1 graph? I turn back in my notes, and it says, is it 1 to 1? Y values cannot repeat. Are my y values repeating? So is it a 1 to 1? All right, Jonah, did I answer your question? All right, we'll see about that right now. All right, please try this one. Compare it with your neighbors. Also, this is a long word problem. Did I feel the need to write down the entire word problem? No, I just wrote down the values. So 2016, 2012, 2008, 2004, 2000. 46, 46, 36, 36, 37. So we need to know the domain, the range, and is it a 1 to 1 function? All right, take a minute, answer that, and compare with your neighbors, please. And I'm going to not so randomly call on more people. You don't need to write them down if they're repeated. You only need to write down once. All right, 10 seconds. We're going to go over this. All right, Johnny, what's the domain? It is. Good job. Dia, what's my range? You are correct. And Isabel, is it a 1 to 1 function? Why not? Because we have numbers repeating in the y variable. Perfect, thank you. All right, we have one more example left. This is even easier than example 2. I think. I could be wrong. It's happened once before. That was a joke. Ooh, so this is a non-humor class. Good to know. Too late. All right, we are going to determine if each function is 1 to 1. All right, so we're going to draw a graph. And we are going to draw a line. It doesn't actually touch the line, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then grows exponentially. I'm sure you all know what an exponential graph looks like. Looks like that, right? It does. All right, so my question to you, is that 1 to 1? How do we know if it's 1 to 1? I think you're making stuff up. Is it 1 to... Oh, horizontal line test. You weren't making it up. Good job, Kylie. and Connor. Colin, I'm sorry. I'll get it. Alright, so if I draw a horizontal line, does it ever cross my purple line more than once? No, so it is a 1, 2, 1. So my answer is yes. Alright, let's try another one. Alright, we have an upside down parabola. Alright, Colin, let's try this again. See? You remind me of another student, Connor, I think that's why I said that, who's an amazing student, so it wasn't a bad thing. Alright, if I take a horizontal line, is it going to cross more than one time? Yes. So this would be a no. And just because I'm personally a visual learner, I'm going to draw a horizontal line and circle that it crosses twice. So that's a no. All right, last thing before we leave for today. Can you keep your workbooks in the classroom? Yes. On what side of that wooden bookshelfy thing should they be on? Try again. The right. That's fine. All right, so here we go. Yes or no, get it right and we're done for today. All right, Sakona, no pressure, but if you get it right, we're done for today. If not, we'll keep going. Is that a one-to-one function? All right, we are done for today. Please put your books away somewhat neatly.